Hey there, YouTube. So a long time ago, I meant to show you all this 2013 Scion FR-S. A long time ago, as in a little over 2 years ago. It just occurred to me that I could make it work, because I had lost a lot of footage for this review because I had replaced the hard drive to my iMac with a solid state drive, and in the process, lost a lot of footage, and that was my fault. So please bear with me because I used footage from my other videos and some other footage that we have yet seen before. So anyways, I'm not here to inform you all anything, as this car has been in the market for 4+ years. But as a backstory, this was my boyfriend's first new car. He bought this car when it had been in the market for about a month or two. Pause for a moment and embrace the sight of this yellow S2K, prime example of good times over at Honda, before they resorted to modifying the hell out of Econoboxes, made a so-called sports car, a Civic Si. So anyways, back to this FR-S. You all know that there's a Subaru BRZ and that Scion no longer exists, and it's now called a Toyota 86. And that it was a collaboration between Subaru and Toyota, and that this car has a Subaru-sourced boxer engine under the hood that makes 200 horsepower with only a 2-liter displacement. And it was clever to use a boxer engine because it sits very low, reduces any high center of gravity, it sits very close to the firewall to help make a near-perfect weight distribution. And all of that translate to awesome handling. You'll find hundreds or thousands of videos on YouTube of people doing all sorts of crazy stuff with this car, because it's one of the most capable cars in its price range. It's not a fast car, but it's lively, it's full of energy. With the Prius-sized tires, it doesn't take a whole lot to burn rubber and make this car go sideways. It invigorated the automotive industry because there wasn't a whole lot in this class. Compact, rear-wheel drive sports car. The first thing that comes to mind is just the MX-5 Miata, and before that the Honda S2K or S2000, which has been long discontinued. You'd have to go to a larger Mustang, Camaro, Challenger, cars increasing in weight, price, reduced capability, and etc. Cars that are not track ready from the factory for under $30,000. And the interior isn't half bad. I mean, look at these seats. It's almost like Recaro knockoffs. If you're the right size, they just grab you and hold you in, even if you tackle twisties. And you still get a back seat in this car. A fairly useless one, but it's there. It could have been worse. I have sat back there. Sideways, though. Materials, fit, finish, and etc. is better than, say, a Toyota Corolla. The dashboard is actually soft to the touch. Door panel armrests are padded. Now, unfortunately, this car did not come with a center armrest. My boyfriend put in this aftermarket armrest, looks and functions as if this car came with it. Only thing is, even since day one, it squeaked like so. Once you set sail in one of these cars, you'll immediately notice how low to the ground you are. And how bumpy it is! And loud! Okay, this is only 30. That's the thing with this car, that you can have a whole lot of fun at under 30 miles an hour. Unfortunately, I really can't enjoy this car as much as my boyfriend does. You see how I'm sitting? I'm not sitting straight in the seat. And if I try to sit straight into it, the bolsters push my shoulders forward, can't fit in this seat. Now, this boxer engine really does a good job getting this car going. It's 200 horsepower, but it's enough. Going up on this highway. And this is where more power would have been handy. Hitting 90 miles an hour. And again, this car is so loud. insulation sucks, and the road noises really does come into the car. You'll know what road surface you're riding on even if you're blindfolded. Sure. Problem I have with this car is with its ride. Makes me nauseous. Not so much as a driver, but as a passenger, within minutes. I just want to puke. And it's because of the ride. It's just so jittery, and Cleveland roads are notorious for being very bumpy. Yeah, it really does unsettle my stomach. So whenever my boyfriend drives, I make sure, well, are we going on the freeway soon? If not, let me at least drive locally, and then you'll take it on from the freeway. This really isn't a road trip car at all. If you're traveling with someone, you're going to be shouting, as I am right now to the camera. Now, the fact that this car does make me sick, if I know that I'm going to ride in it, I take these motion sickness chewable pills just to make things a little bit more tolerable. Other than that, I tend to avoid riding in this car, period. I just use my Volvo. And that tends to really piss my boyfriend off because he hates that thing. And I hate this thing. My pits and ass get sweaty within minutes. It's never at ease. It's not so much the shifting, but the ride, to me, it's just, I can't stand it. I'm more of a Beamer, Benz kind of guy. Well, we're back in this car's habitat. Twisty roads, 30 miles an hour, maybe 40 or 50. Road noise doesn't make you deaf. Quite lucky right now that I'm on a smooth road that isn't bumpy, so I'm no longer nauseous. The great thing about this car is the steering. It's just dead on. And it's very sensitive too. Just one little nudge to either direction, the car just wants to shoot towards wherever you point it. And that's a good thing. I mean, in this setting, it's just fabulous. But on the freeway, it's a little bit of a hassle. It's quite the workout, actually, because you're constantly correcting it, or at least that's what I have to do. I'm more used to the steering of a Mercedes or BMW, where it's somewhat dead at highway speeds, but at the same time still responsive. You just don't have to play with the wheel as much as you have to do with this. Now, the one benefit of this firm ride is the fact that the car feels very planted. I'm just hugging the road, hugging the corners. And it's nice, but ride quality is diminished. This is not meant to be a fast car to be driven at high speeds. It's meant to be driven at 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. You know, this is not a car for the Autobahn at all, like a Mercedes or Beamer. That's really one of the trade-offs. This car does one thing very well, but kind of poorly in the other. It just doesn't give you two things. You feel every single bump right on your ass. I can't enjoy this car and what it has to offer as much as I want to. It makes me sick, nauseous, I'm not comfortable in it, yet it can still bring a smile out of my face.